Money day, guys and girls. I hope you're blessed. Welcome to another episode of Sunday Setups, hosted by me, LitCapital. Of course, if you guys are watching this video on Sunday, great. You guys have caught this video just in time before the markets open. But if you guys have watched this video after Sunday, then please be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications so that next time when we do one of these videos, you guys can catch the video when it comes out before the markets open. So with no further ado, I am going to take you guys through the charts. First, I'm actually going to show you guys the economic calendar and show you that actually next week, we've got CPI that's really taking precedence for all of the currencies. We've got CPI for the Kiwi on Tuesday. We've got CPI for the pound, and we've also got CPI for the Canadian dollar on Wednesday, followed on Thursday by FOMC speaking, and on Friday, some more FOMC. There isn't really much. There's retail sales on Friday. There's jobless claims on Thursday, which is going to be big for the dollar. But other than that, there isn't really much hard-hitting data to be released for us to actually suspect us to see an increased amount of volume. So we will be keeping you guys informed and up to date as and when we can. Looking at the S&P 500 here, it's very interesting because we actually did have a daily pullback. Price came inside of the zone, hit the 70%, and price actually pushed down. Now, a lot of people may have thought that price would have continued pushing up higher. It was a probability, but what I think is most important when we're looking at the daily here is that when price did push back up, it did fill a lot of the imbalance. Okay, it filled a lot of the imbalance, but if I go onto the 8-hour time frame, because I think that picture is a bit more clearer here, we had a low, okay, and if we look at this from a here being a low, price pushed up. Okay, let's change this color to red. Perfect. So price pushed up here, and then price came down, and now price is pushed back up. Now price could push back down. Now, what I'm trying to show you here is this was a low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and maybe, just maybe, we can get a lower low for the rest of the week. Now, technically speaking, if we were to actually sell from this selling area, okay, then there would be a lot of reasons for us to actually exit the trade around the -14 to 20, -27% area. Now, very interestingly, Morgan Stanley actually said earlier on in the year, they had a target. Their analysts had a target of 3,400, and that target of 3,400 is really getting very, very, very close. I mean, I can tell you we're probably less than 2% away from there. Okay, we're actually 5% away from the target that Morgan Stanley set at the start of the year. So we're very close, very, very close indeed. So it's really interesting right now for us to actually look at how the markets are responding. Of course, when we look at this on a weekly standpoint, we can see that really we are very bearish. And as much as we want price to push up, and me personally, I'd like price to push back up towards this weekly lip block around 3,886. But if price can't get up there, we can't ignore the fact that there's a lot of pessimistic events taking place in the market. A lot of pessimistic events, a lot of negative news. So although we are going to see the markets pull back occasionally, we have to remember that the pullback may just only be a pullback for a continuation lower. So I'm actually looking to see if we can actually hit this 3,400 target. This 3,400 target is a massive, massive number. Morgan Stanley haven't got a number wrong yet so far this year. So I'd like to see if this estimate can come through. Let us know in the comment section below. Do you guys think that we'll see 3,400 with the S&P, or do you think that we'll get a rebound and prices will push up higher? With AUDUSD, I've mentioned this last week. We're actually right now in a very bearish state because of the dollar. The dollar is very bullish. Now, that's not to say that the dollar won't turn around, but what we can't ignore the facts right now. Let me go on the quarterly candle for the dollar. What we can't ignore the fact with the dollar is that there is more prices for price. There's more reasons for price to go above than there is for price to go below right now. And if you look at the dollar from a quarterly standpoint here, we can see the overall objective. There is a lot of liquidity above here around the 120 handle. Now, I'm not saying we'll get there. What I am saying is it would be nice for us to see if price could actually reach 115, at least play into this, play into this quarterly candle so that we could get a move down lower. I believe the dollar has been manipulated for so long and it's so strong that there needs to be a big reason for the dollar to take a dive. And right now, I can't see the dollar taking a dive until it at least plays into that candle. So that would mean a continued bearish run on the majors. Okay, that would mean AUDUSD would continue to push down lower, and also GU. Now, when we look at AU, we can actually see that in actual fact, okay, we are kind of approaching the all-time lows. We're approaching nearly, sorry, the lows of an all-time low, which is down here. But what I'm saying is there's definitely more liquidity above on AU than there is below. However, be that as it may, we can't ignore the fact that right now, the dollar is still very strong. So this is actually a time where a lot of investors are just waiting on the sidelines with their cash. They're not making any sudden moves. They're not jumping into anything too early because they want to see how the markets play out. Now, we made an all-time low with the pound, okay? Also, UK, Britain, they've just sacked the chancellor, and now they've just reinstated a new chancellor. So the pound is in arrears. You know, it's in complete turmoil, and many believe this could be the end of the pound. Now, what I believe is we will get a pullback at some point, but that point needs to be with a lot of certainty inside of our economy, and that we just don't have. So as much as we can think about charts from a fundamental perspective, from a technical perspective, the fundamental aspects right now are playing a huge part, guys. And it's very important that right now, aside from us trading, we're really focusing on what's happening economically, because sometimes the market isn't really showing us much. For example, with GU right now, there isn't much we can actually look at this with GU, okay? There isn't much, okay? It's the same really from last week. We pushed up into this candle, price came down. Now price had a bit of a pullback, but ultimately because the dollar finished off strong, the GU finished off bearish. But, you know, price could push up and take out this high. Okay, there is a nice equal high in this area here where price could push up and take, but you have to understand there's no liquidity below. So as much as we can say that there's reason for price to go above, there isn't really much reason for price to go below. The only reason is going to be if the dollar continues to be strong. So I'm going to leave you guys on a few simple tips. Okay, when you guys, if you have never used investing.com, go over to investing.com and read some of the articles that come up on the homepage. Top 5 things to watch in the markets in the week ahead. That will pretty much tell you what news events are taking place, which ones can cause a massive effect in the market. And you'll also see some videos here which come out from time to time, which can also give you another insight to how the markets may respond or how the markets may react based on what's actually happening. For example, there's a coalition between President Putin and the King of Saudi Arabia. Now, of course, Joe Biden, America has a problem with Saudi Arabia teaming up with Russia, because of course, if they team up, then that could put the whole of the European state inside a recession because they'll have no energy. So there's a few things that you guys can always pick up from just, you know, having a look, having a read, sometimes just having a listen. It's really important, guys. It says here, markets in wait and see mode. That is pretty much what I've been saying to you. Investors are not actually making much decisions right now. They're trying to leave their money on the side and see what they can actually do moving forward. Now, the Bank of England has announced for quite some time that they're going into a recession, and we're really starting to see global currencies struggle. So guys, this week throughout the market, throughout the New York session live stream, we will be on the lunchtime live stream from 12:45 down to 3 p.m. GMT. Make sure you guys are available. If you're not available, then make sure you guys subscribe to our free Discord channel, where we provide out signals occasionally. We gave out over 2,600 pips on an S&P trade. So don't miss out, guys. We've got a paid for Discord, which is for £25 a month, where we provide you guys market analysis, tips, tricks, you name it, you've got it. So guys, please be sure to head over to the website, litcapital.co.uk. And always remember, guys, every day is money day. Peace.